Welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Marco and I'm here in Sweden. This is a video for you to get to know me a little bit, since you're gonna see a lot of me in the next videos, to the point that you're gonna get almost tired of me, but I don't think it's gonna happen. We'll see. So my name is Marco and I'm 25 and I'm here in Malmo, close to the border actually with Denmark, so it's really strategic to both study, work, and my goal here is to bring the Italian in Nordic countries and to also review Italian food, but at the same time coach people through change, how to handle change and transitions in life, because I've been transitioning, in my life all the time, traveling all over the world to start a new life again and again, both for studies and for work. So I believe to be able to give a really good input I've learned through my journey and to my study. So yeah, the weather here is pretty cold, it's pretty, tragic, but today the weather is decent, according to standards. If you can see, it's kind of cloudy but also sunny at the same time, so it's not too bad. I actually recorded this video yesterday, but I soon realized that the autofocus and the focus on the camera was actually on the background, so my whole face was blurred. I definitely hope this is not the case right now, because it would mean that for a YouTube video it would take me 3 days to do it, but we'll see how it goes. If you see this version of the video, it means that I actually succeeded. And also yesterday, to be honest, the recording was pretty fire, because I was in the city center. I was gonna show you the city center of Malmo, this incredible city in the southern part of Sweden. But hey, life happens, and it's not like you can control everything about life. Life sort of happens to you, and it's about how you react. And here I am reacting to whatever happened yesterday. Hey, hello. It's nice also to see some people that while you record. It's a kind of a social anxiety exercise. Love this. Today, it's actually not too bad of a weather. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I was born in Romania, but I grew up in Italy my whole life. My dad is Italian, my mom is Romanian, so I'm a bit of a mix. I've always been a bit of a mix, in that sense. I attended an international school in Italy, European school, and I've always been surrounded by international people throughout my whole life, so never really belonged to Italy, never belonged to Romania. I always belonged to the world in that sense, and this gave me a incredible edge, because I can speak 5 languages now. They all came through practice, practicing and being in this kind of environments. After my studies, my high school, I went to the Netherlands for 5 years, first 3 years in Groningen, then in Rotterdam for my 2 masters, and there I met incredible people, but also helped me understand a bit of a Dutch culture, Dutch lifestyle, and compare it and try to understand whether I would like to live in the Netherlands or not. And in this case, the answer is no, because I'm here in Sweden. So hey, to be honest, you never know in life, what happens. I might even come back to the Netherlands, come back to Italy, come back to Romania, you never know. But so far at this stage of my life, I'm really happy here in Sweden. I arrived here 2 months ago, so of course 2 months, it's not enough to understand whether you want to live here or not. It's going well so far. We're walking here in Sweden, but then on the other side, there's actually Copenhagen. There's a bridge, right? Over here there's a bridge, and that's actually the bridge that connects Sweden with Copenhagen, Denmark, which is over there. Also, one thing about Sweden is the quietness. In Italy everyone just makes a chaos out of everything. You just get out of the house and start making noise, but here it's pretty quiet, which I kind of like in a way. It helps me organize my head, my headspace, so that I don't go crazy and I'm all over the place, in a way. And if it's not for people like me here going around the city and just making a little bit of chaos here, it would be really stale. Of all the Nordic countries, why did I choose exactly Sweden? Well, because for me, Sweden felt the most accessible one. If you think about Northern Europe, the first country that usually pops up in your head is Sweden, right? It's either Sweden or Denmark. Norway is less accessible because everything is so expensive. And then Sweden just felt like a no-brainer. Also Malmo, because it's close to Copenhagen. So if I get tired of Sweden, let's say, I can go to Denmark in a way. As an Italian, as a traditional Italian traveling abroad, it's really important from time to time to find sort of an anchor to my own country. So what better way if not food, So this is why I'm also here in Malmo reviewing Italian food, Italian cuisine abroad, because as I want to experience, Italy when I'm abroad and get reminded of the cuisine that we have, I also want people who never maybe who've never been to Italy to also get the true feeling of what Italy means. So if that sounds like something that could interest you, seeing Italian places, reviews, like how the Italians experience, Nordic countries, because we have such a big cultural differences, make sure to subscribe to this channel and follow me on IG, on Instagram and TikTok, because I'm gonna be doing more reviews over there. marcoalessandrodebbi. If you also want to support, make sure you do that, like the video, and also share it with whomever you think might want to know the best Italian food reviews, Italian spots here in Malmo. This is so peaceful right here, honestly. Enough with the glasses, let's lose them. Also, many people ask me, why are you not just staying, in Italy? It's such a beautiful country. So why are you even moving, But yeah, I mean, what I realized through travels is that the place that you live, usually as human beings, we tend to take them for granted. Taking it for granted means that you just live day by day and you do the same things, and then you sort of become desensitized to them. I don't want to do this to my own country. Like I don't want to have the feeling that I'm taking for granted Italy, the people, the food, and I want to see Italy over and over again with the eyes of a tourist. I love my country so much that I don't want to take it for granted. Kind of become desensitized to it, so I'd rather not. I mean, the world is beautiful as it is, there are so many good places to visit, and sometimes I just feel overwhelmed because I don't know what to visit next, because there's so many options out there. So many options, and yeah, let me know guys if you have any kind of travel plans or of where you want to go next, because I honestly don't. I was in Bali this summer and it was really amazing. I met incredible people there, some people that I can call family, bonded by emotions, memories, but not by blood, of course. Here's the turning torso over here. It almost feels, yo, when does it finish? I mean, I'm used to long things, but that's next level. Yo, not gonna lie, I should go to somewhere warm to kind of get my vitamin D in check, Here I'm taking almost 10,000 units of vitamin D because I need a lot of it. 10,000 units, and then also taking vitamin K2 because that's how vitamin D gets absorbed. With vitamin K2, you don't have a lot of calcium in your blood system, in your blood flow, in your veins. There you go. Oh my goodness. So yes, what do I do in my free time, guys? Because this is about getting to know me so that you can get more familiar with me. So I really love going to the gym. I love playing tennis. I go to play tennis 3 times a week. Or at least I try, because here in Sweden I can't find any good players, on my level. And it's not to brag, it's just that the level in Italy is so high nowadays with Yannick Sinner, with Musetti, that it's tough to find anyone playing on average a higher level of tennis than Italy. Yeah, also to the gym I go 5 times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, and I feel like it's really important to go enough that you can promote growth, but at the same time not overstimulate yourself. So if you go, for example, 4 to 5 times a week, you have 2 days of rest, and if you go hard enough, then that's more than enough. If you guys want to support me, just make sure you subscribe, you follow me, you share my profile with people, especially if you know someone in Malmo or in Sweden that would love to know the best Italian spots, or at the same time know how I experience this culture, and also if there's someone in need of help in terms of transitions, and someone's going through a very tough period in their own life, it's always I'm always there to support in that sense. So make sure to make them subscribe, so then they can see my future content, because they will be also related to change, or related to how to handle change and transitions in life. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested, make sure you subscribe, and see you next time, guys.